I know a lot of you have some really big goals that you set for yourself. And if you're a person that's looking for clear guidance on how to set and accomplish any goal that you set for yourself, then you're at the right place. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 lessons from my own personal entrepreneurship journey that has allowed me to get to the point where I'm at today. I've created a 7-figure business for myself. I am currently living in my dream apartment complex, as you see right behind me. I've furnished it with luxury furniture. I've been able to travel around the country first class. I've been able to do some really cool things, and it's all stemmed from setting and accomplishing my goals. Nothing was ever handed to me. I worked every single day on my goals, and I paid for everything out of my own personal pocket. And I'm currently doing the things that just a few years ago was on my vision board. As a matter of fact, these journals right here, I wrote in these journals every single day to get to the point where I'm at today. And I want to share with you exactly how I did it and how I manifested my dream life. And it's really easier than you think. It's simpler than you think. You just have to be focused, you have to be clear, and you have to be consistent. And that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's video. Now, I'll be very transparent with you. When I was on the journey to achieving these goals, sometimes I didn't even think that I was going to accomplish it all. And some of the goals, I felt like I would never even make it. But you can only connect the dots looking backwards, meaning that once you're at your goal, you'll see why everything lined up the exact way it needed to be. The people you met, the places you were at, and the experiences you had all played a purpose in you reaching your goal. So you can only make sense of that after you actually reach your goal, and then you can look back and reflect on it. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 lessons that I've learned to create a new life for myself and turn my goals and my dreams into a living reality. And if you stay all the way to the end of this video, I'm also going to teach you how to use your subconscious mind so that you can achieve your goals so much faster. This is going to be a lengthy video, okay? So be sure you stay all the way to the end. I know how adamant you are about achieving your goals if you stay all the way through to the end of this video. If you have a short attention span, you'll never reach your goal. Just go ahead and exit out the video now. But if you're really focused and if you really want your goals to become your new reality and create a new life for yourself, watch this video all the way through to the end. Let's go ahead and dive in. If you've been on this journey for quite some time and you haven't met your goal yet, it's okay. Or if you think you should be further along on the journey because of some certain status you may think you hold and you're still not at your goal yet, it's okay. If you failed over and over and over again on your goals and you're still not there yet, it's okay. I do want to let you know that you failing on your goals is actually a good thing. And you not being able to reach your goal may be one of the best things that's ever happened to you, because what's going to happen is that you become more bulletproof on the outside. Your shell becomes harder. You become less fragile. You're able to fail and get back up and continue to march forward. So you not reaching your goal is not even failing. It's actually a learning lesson. And in my business, I look at it as optimization data. When I quote unquote failed on the journey, I get to look back and look to see what needs to be optimized in my journey so I can take that data, apply it, and move forward so I don't make the same mistake again. I love this quote by Confucius, and it states, "Our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail." So the first lesson that I want to go over with you is that you need to forgive yourself for not being able to reach your goal yet. It doesn't matter why you didn't reach your goal or the story behind it, but what really matters is that you give yourself some grace for not reaching your goal. If you don't do this, here's what's going to happen. You will start creating your future from your past and not creating your future from your vision. If you create your future from your past, you're going to recreate the same scenario over and over and over again. You have to create the future from your vision that you have for yourself. Everything starts from your vision of how you see your life in the future. And if in your vision, you're failing over and over and over again, or you're thinking about why you didn't win or didn't have success or why you didn't reach your goals, guess what's going to happen? You're only going to attract more of what you're thinking about. In Earl Nightingale's book, The Strangest Secret, the greatest discovery that he realized in the 21st century is that you become what you think about. If you're thinking of your failures from the past, guess what? You're going to get more failures. But if you think of an exciting vision for the future, guess what you're going to get? An exciting future. This means that whatever your goal is, you have to saturate your mind with your future so that it is the only thing you think about pertaining to your goals. Along the journey, you're going to have times where you don't necessarily feel motivated and you don't feel like doing the work. Well, how do you get motivated? You have to develop intrinsic motivation, meaning that you have to go within to figure out why you're doing the things that you're doing on the journey so that you can actually get to where you ultimately want to be at. Intrinsic motivation means that we're looking in from the inside out. And so what you need to be doing is having a vision that's so big and so exciting for your future that it intrinsically gets you motivated to take action and do the work. Earlier in this video, I was talking about how I fly first class, how I live in this awesome apartment complex. And, I'm doing the exact same things that was on my vision board just a few years ago. Now, when I don't feel motivated, guess what I do? I take a moment to myself, I close my eyes, I go inside, and I think about how exciting it's going to be to fly first class with my girlfriend, and how exciting it's going to be to have my dream apartment with my dream office, doing the exact same things that I am doing right now. And internally, that excites me and it actually gets me going. And so guess what? Now I have intrinsic motivation to do the work and get started because I just fired myself up from the inside out. And it all starts with your vision. Kobe Bryant was one of my favorite basketball players. In my eyes, he was the absolute best. And in one of Kobe's interviews, he always talks about having this Mamba mentality. And his book, Kobe Bryant's Mamba Mentality book, is amazing. I highly recommend everyone buy it, download it, support the Bryant family. But he talks about mental toughness. And mental toughness, in his definition, is the ability to feel pain but redirect your focus and attention to something else and building that energy to the point where you don't feel the pain anymore. So this kind of leads back to my last example that I just talked about when the times where I don't feel motivated to do the work. I have to develop that Mamba mentality, that mental toughness, and go inside and redirect my focus to something else that builds energy up to the point where you don't even feel unmotivated anymore. You feel extremely motivated and extremely passionate because you're starting the fire. You're igniting the flame. This is mental toughness. This is the Mamba mentality. So the next time where you feel like you don't feel like doing the work, you have to start thinking about your vision and your exciting future. And that compels you to move forward, to do the work and get the work done. This leads me to lesson number 2. Chances are you probably set a ton of goals for yourself, but this is a big mistake. And let me clarify this. It's not a big mistake of having multiple goals. It's a big mistake on trying to work on multiple goals all at the same time. In Russell Brunson's book, Expert Secrets, he talks about this concept of your big domino. Now, your big domino is if you knock this one big domino down, all of the other dominoes will fall along with that one big domino. So this year, what I want you to do is think about what is your one big domino that if you knock this domino down, all of your other goals will be met along with you knocking down this one big domino. From my experience, my big domino is usually a financial goal for myself. For example, once again, I've had the goals of traveling, flying first class, getting a luxury apartment, furnishing it with luxury furniture, and all of those goals are awesome. But when I'm thinking about what would be my one big domino that I needed to set for myself that's going to knock the other dominoes down as a result of me reaching that goal, well, for me, when I was doing more fitness coaching, it was to make around $10,000 a month for my business and then increase that to around $20,000 a month. I knew that with that amount of money, I could create a better life for myself. I didn't have to worry about paying bills. I didn't have to worry about if it was too expensive. I didn't have to worry about lower level things because now I'm able to afford everything that I wanted with ease. So I knew that money was going to be the big opportunity for me to create a better life for myself. I could use the money to travel. I could use the money to buy furniture. I could use the money to spoil my mom and buy her really nice stuff and also spoil my girlfriend too. So my big goal for myself when I was in the fitness space was $10K a month. And then I knew if I want to hit out the park and go even further, it was going to be $20K a month. Now, if I'm talking about money right now and you feel weird about money, get over it. Get over yourself, okay? One of the reasons why you feel the way you do about money right now, and this usually comes from your programming from your family or your religion, but money is a great tool that can help you live an amazing life and give back even bigger. If you're broke, how much can you give back to your community or give back to your church or give back to your mom for busting her butt for taking care of you all your life? Right? Imagine being able to give bigger than anybody else, or to help your parents, or to retire your parents, or to set your future kids up for success because now you have the money and they don't have to grow up like you did. So think about that for a second and think about what your one big domino would be for yourself. Write it out and make it that one big goal. Once you have that one big goal written out, you have to commit to it. You have to know that this is going to be the year that you take your results and your game to the next level. Come hell or high water, you will reach this goal. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Just know that every single day you will be working on your goal little by little. One goal, write it down, make it a financial goal, make it per month, and work like hell to reach it. The best part about setting your goals for yourself is that you have free will to set your goal as high as you want to. Your goals are your goals. They're not your parents' goals. They're not your friends' goals. They're not your girlfriend's goals or your husband's goals. They're your personal goals. So on this pyramid right here, set your goals as high as you potentially want your goals to be. You have free will to do so. You're not limited by what you think. You're limited by how you think. Now that you set your goal, here's the fun part. I want you to think about how you feel in pertaining to reaching your goal. I want you to think, okay, listen to your gut right now. Do you feel happy when you set this goal, this really big goal that you set for yourself? Do you feel happy, or does your anxiety rise through the roof knowing that you have such a big goal for yourself and now you have to work like hell to get there? And this brings me to lesson 3. You have to be able to bridge the gap between you and your goals. If you feel anxious towards your goal, it's not because the goal is too big. It's actually because you have to set smaller goals and blow the smaller goals out of the water on the way to your big one goal. Now, this concept is called chunking your goals. For example, if your goal as a fitness coach is to get up to $10,000 per month with your online fitness business, and you've never made $10,000 a month before, then you might feel some type of way about that and your anxiety might start to rise, right? So what we want to do is we still want to have the $10,000 goal per month as our overarching goal, but we also need to have small goals that will compound over time that will get us to our big goal. So sticking with this example, your first goal, if your big goal is to make $10,000 a month, your first small goal is to make $500 online. Is that a small goal? Yes. Is that a goal that you know you can crush and knock it out the park? Yes. And that, my friend, is the point. You want to have small goals and smash them out the park so that you can build momentum and get you going in the right direction without getting discouraged. Ultimately, what we are doing here is we are closing the gap between where you're at right now and your first big goal. So if it takes 20 clients at $500 a month to get you to $10,000 per month, your goal should be to sign up one client a week at $500 a month. If it's January now or close to January, by May, you'll be at your goal. Now, I want you to think about your $500 goal. Do you feel anxious about that? Right? Do you feel, you might, but do you feel as anxious about $500 as you did about $10,000 a month? No. $500 is much more attainable. And this attainable goal is going to help us build confidence. So instead of anxiety, we now feel confident about what we're doing, and we feel confident about the journey, and we're confident about taking the next step, and we're getting closer and closer to our goals. So the lesson that you have to learn here is that your goals, it doesn't matter how big it is. You can accomplish any goal that you set for yourself. It doesn't matter how big the goal is. People have literally climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. People have built the world's highest and tallest skyscrapers. How do you think people accomplish these goals? By setting very small goals first and having a plan and crushing these small goals week after week, day after day, month after month, year after year. And eventually you will get to your goal. This leads me to lesson 4. Now that you have your big goal set and you also have smaller goals that will lead you to your big goal, now comes one of the most important parts. And this is all about becoming the master. Now, in order to become the master, you have to be able to master yourself. And you have to be able to do the things that you know you should be doing when no one's looking, when you don't feel motivated, and when, once again, you just don't feel like it, right? So how do you do these things and become the master? Well, you have to track your progress. And mastery is not a function of genius or talent. It's a function of time and intense focus applied to a particular field of knowledge. And this quote is directly from Robert Greene's book, Mastery. So here's the thing. When it comes to tracking your progress, I speak to a lot of fitness coaches on an everyday basis. And sometimes when it comes to their goals, they don't know how to get there. But, I relate everything back to fitness. If your goal is to get a 6-pack, then what are you supposed to be doing? Tracking your macros, right? It's that simple, right? It's not more complicated than that. Just track your macros, get in a calorie deficit, and work every single day in order to get to your goal. Same thing applied here. If you don't track your macros, what's going to happen? You're probably going to be overeating. Some days you'll be undereating, and you'll be guessing and wavering back and forth, and you won't have a clear direction of how you're currently doing on the journey when it comes to reaching your goals. So reaching your goal is all about tracking your progress and becoming your own master. Do not rely on your own human will, okay? Because you can't do it. You can't. If you think you could, you would have already been there by now. So don't rely on your own human will. Measure out how much time and effort you've actually put in to master your craft. When I used to compete in fitness competitions, I had maybe 6 months worth of accurate data of me going to the gym, tracking my macros, how many calories I burned, how many calories I consumed, and how much cardio I did on that day, right? The same kind of framework of mind has to be applied to your big goals as well. Now, before I go deeper into the details about what it means to track your progress, you also have to understand that your goals are your goals. Not everybody is supposed to understand what your goals are or why you've broken your goals up the way you did. And one big, please pay attention right now. All right. I want you to snap out whatever you're doing right now. Please pay attention. One of the biggest mistakes that I've made on the journey is comparing my progress with other people. The reason why we track is to compare our results from what we did the prior week. You have one job. Hit the same easy goal that you crushed last week. Why? Because we know that if we are consistently hitting this goal, then we are consistently taking steps to our big goal. And those steps will start to compound on top of each other over a period of time. Getting to your goals isn't going to be about you working really, really hard. Okay? It's not. Unless you're doing something like getting ready for a fitness competition. But if your goals are financial, getting to your goal isn't a physical journey. It's actually a mental journey. You are the only one responsible for your goals because they are your goals. As a matter of fact, what I found in my life is that the more responsible I became in my life, the faster I started achieving my goals. I actually became more of a man because I was being more responsible for everything around me. Once I found out that I had to start taking responsibility for everything and knowing that I was responsible for my success and also for my failures in my life, that's when things really started to blossom for me and I began to ascend to the next level. Lesson number 5. You must stay focused on your goals. So you have to keep your blinders on and stay focused on what you need to be doing. Once again, it's you versus you. It's only your goals. No one else really matters at the end. No one else really cares at the end of the day about your goals. It's really up to you when it comes to achieving and accomplishing your goals. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that having many goals is a huge mistake. Now, the reason why you don't want to have multiple goals at the same time is because you will leak energy. If I'm using my energy to hit this one big goal, but at the same time, I got this goal, 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 then guess what? My energy is all over the place, all right? My focus should be catered to one big goal. And so here's the thing, when it comes down to becoming a master, real masters are able to harness their energy and direct it to a single point and will burn their goal to the ground. Okay? It's kind of like having a Terminator gaze, being locked on your target, not getting distracted until the enemy has been defeated. Having other small goals are fine, but you have to focus on what is your one big goal, and you have to channel your energy to your one big goal and direct it and burn it to the ground. A really good book to read is called Essentialism, and this means constantly defining where you can create the most value, then finding ways to execute it most effortlessly. So during the day, you have all of these non-essential tasks that you're doing, right? Non-essential tasks. And yeah, all of these tasks may keep you busy, but they're non-essential and they're not productive tasks that's going to help you move forward and to knock down your one big domino. So you have to think all the things that you're doing throughout the day, is it essential or non-essential? Is it essential or non-essential? Is it moving me closer to my goal? Or is it getting me distracted? Is it keeping me confused? Or is it keeping me busy and not productive? This comes down to what's important and non-important. Your focus should be to move forward to your goal every single day. So you have to become a no man or a no woman. Now, the only exception to this rule is for my girlfriend, my workouts, and my meditation. I've already allocated time during the week to spend with my significant other. I allocated time to do my workouts during the week, and I've allocated time to do my meditation. Those are priorities for me, so I made time for it. But everything else, no. Okay, it's going to be a no. So during the week and during working hours, it's going to be a no for me. So when people ask, hey, do you want to come out and have a drink tonight? No, I'm working. My family is having dinner tonight. Do you want to come over and have dinner? No, I'm working. And it's not in a harsh way. I kind of still like being asked, but I politely decline because they know what I'm doing. I've already communicated with them. And especially when it comes to my girlfriend, she knows that I'm working on my vision every single day. And she knows that the more I work on the vision, the better I can be able to take care of the both of us at the end of the day. And this leads me to lesson number 6. You have to be able to sacrifice for your goals. My mentor, Sam Ovens, came up with this quote, and it states, if you don't sacrifice for your goal, then the goal becomes the sacrifice. Now, this is a powerful statement because every time you say no to something that doesn't align to the goal, that means you're saying yes to the goal and to your vision. And every time you do that, you become more confident and your energy starts to increase. Once this happens, you will become unstoppable. You're fully turned on and you're ready to win. So taking a look at this graph, every time you say yes to your vision, your energy increases, your confidence increases, and your competence increases. So the more you say no, the more you say yes to your dream and yes to your goal and yes to your future. Now, by this point, I know a lot of you are getting really motivated while watching this video. And the last and final lesson is that you have to learn how to get in the zone and stay in the flow. Now, this is what champions do to win. Flow is a unique term. Flow was made famous by Hungarian psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. He is one of the founders of positive psychology, and he found that the best moments in our lives are not the passive, receptive, relaxing times that we think may be the best moments. The best moments usually occur if a person's body or mind is stretched to its limits in a voluntary effort to accomplish something difficult and worthwhile. Flow is where skill and challenge meets. Now, take a look at this photo. Michael Jordan and Kobe are so immersed in the joy of their work that nothing matters to them. This is the state of mind that you must be in when you're working on your goals and on the way to your journey. Why is this so important? Because you can't be depressed and be immersed in the joy of your work at the same time, right? You can't be anxious and be immersed in the joy of your work and nothing else seems to matter at the same time, right? So being in flow cancels all depression, all anxiety, and all unmotivation because you're so immersed in the joy of your work that nothing else seems to matter. So you have to learn how to get in flow and stay in flow so that you can work better. Now, this is the way you will find true calm productivity with your work. You actually have to be inside of the work. When I'm doing these videos, like right now, I'm inside of the computer right now. I feel like I'm just straight into it, I'm tapped in. Nothing else seems to matter because I love what I'm doing so much and I'm flowing right now. And energy is coming. It's just coming to me. I'm getting the downloads. I'm just in it right now. And so you have to be inside of your work. And I made a really great video about how to become more productive and get into a flow state. And I highly recommend you watch that video right after this video. I'll leave a link in the description. But you need to be in a peak mental state in order to do high level work. And why do you want to be in this state? Well, because you love the journey. You love the work. On the opposite side of the work, on the opposite side of the challenge, on the opposite side of the obstacle is the thing you want. So you might as well look forward to the work because on the opposite side of that is the exact same thing that you're looking for. Once you change your perception about the work, the journey becomes much more enjoyable. All right, so now that you've learned these lessons, what's next? Because it's one thing to get an idea of what to do, but now you actually have to put things in action so that you can reach your goal. So I'm going to be listing off your action items that you need to take immediately as soon as you finish watching this video. Action item number 1, I want you to take some time to sit with your emotions and think through all of the reasons why you didn't reach your goal in the past, and write all of your reasons down on a sheet of paper and make a list. When you have your list done, the next thing you want to do is do the opposite of your list. This is called inverted thinking. So if you got distracted last time you were on the journey and you had shiny object syndrome and you hopped from one goal to the other goal to the next goal and you didn't focus on your big domino, then the one thing I want you to do right now is write out the one goal that you want to achieve and stay focused on that one goal and finish it all the way through to completion until it's done. You cannot move forward until you've done this. Action 2, take some time to think about your big domino in your life, meaning that if you reach this goal, the rest of the dominoes will fall down as a result of you reaching your one big domino. Action item 3. After your big goal is defined, then I want you to start listing out your smaller goals that you know you can crush that will help you build momentum up to your big goal. If you don't know where to start, a first goal for yourself might be to hire a coach to make sure you're doing the right things and you're not second guessing yourself on the journey. List out all of the steps that are required to get you to your big goal. Action item 4. Create an Excel spreadsheet and track your progress every single week. Commit to the next 30 days of filling out this spreadsheet and only compare your results from last week. You have one job. Compare your results from your results last week. You're not comparing it with other people in the industry. You're not comparing it with your friends. You're not comparing it with anybody else but your results from last week, because your goals are your goals and they're your responsibility to get them done. Action item 5. You need to communicate with your loved ones and let them know that you're about to be super focused on your goal and that you also may need their help with staying focused in order to reach your goal. Let them know that you will still create time for them, but during certain periods throughout the week, you will be laser focused. So please limit interruptions and questions so that you can get the goal done. Action item number 6, resist impulse. Every time you feel the urge to scroll on social media, resist the impulse. Every time you feel the urge to watch porn, resist the impulse. Every time you feel the urge to purposely distract yourself, resist the impulse. Remember that if you don't sacrifice for your goal then becomes the sacrifice. When you resist the impulse, you're building the fire and energy for your goal. And when you resist the impulse, you actually get more tunneled in and dialed in, and little things won't distract you anymore. You'll be able to keep your blinders on for a longer period of time because you're able to resist the little distractions that used to be big distractions in your life. Action item 7. Take some time this week or maybe on a Sunday. I like to plan out my weeks on Sunday and plan out your week and put what you planned out on your phone's calendar and block off time. That way, you know when it's time for the work, you already know what you're supposed to be doing at the hour and you don't have to think about what you're supposed to be doing. You just want to be able to zoom, tap into the work, immediately get going, not waste time, and focus. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a bonus tip as a thank you for staying all the way to the end of this video. If you really want to be successful, you also have to start training your brain to look for success. You have within you something called your reticular activation system, also known as your RAS. And it's a bundle of nerves at our brainstem that filters out unnecessary information so that the important stuff gets through. So it's been said that you can also train your reticular activation system by taking your subconscious thoughts and marrying them to your conscious thoughts. And what people call it is setting your intention. And this basically means that if you focus hard on your goals, your reticular activation system will reveal the people, information, and opportunities that will help you achieve them. Now, I've done this for myself and I will say that it works. I can't speak for everybody, but I know the moment that I set my goals out and I made them clear, people, information, and opportunities started to just come to me. And even if they didn't come to me like in my presence, I became more aware of people, information, and opportunities, and I went to it. So basically my awareness, my level of awareness increased as I set my goal. Right? The people, information, and opportunities started to present themselves, and I became aware of those opportunities and those situations, and I took them. I made the leap. I took action, and I moved forward. So I want you to write out your big goal, but then I also want you to write out all of your other small goals that you have for yourself. And I don't mean your small goals that are leading you up to your big goals. I just mean that once you knock your big goal down, you're going to have other things that you want to do in your life. I knew that once again, for me, after I started making $10,000 to $20,000 a month, I was like, okay, well, now I want to travel more. Now I want to find a significant other. Now I want to get my dream apartment, right? And what I want you to do is to create a digital vision board of all of the things that you want. I want you to go inside of Canva and organize these photos and save this to your wallpaper for your phone. And I want you to look at this every single day, because what's going to happen is that you're going to saturate your subconscious mind with your vision for what you want in life. Now, here's the action item. After you created your digital vision board, every single morning before you get out of bed, you open up your phone and you zoom in on the photos. And just for starters, I have my action items laid out at the top of what my big goal is. I see me holding an award for my achievements with hitting record months in my business. I have me in Hawaii with my girlfriend. I have a cabin that I want to build in the future. I just got into some tattoos, so I've been saving some tattoos because I'm getting the sleeve. And check me out. I got my first tat not too long ago. My big goal is to get this Mercedes, a new SL63, when it comes out. I wanted to build out my organization, hire team members, and really just become the CEO, become the boss. I am the boss. This is why my program is called the Fit Boss Blueprint. I had to become the man. Okay. I had to become the man that was able to hold everything together and be responsible for everything. So yeah, these are just a few examples of what's on my digital vision board. And once again, I have my goals broken down into chunks of everything I need to be accomplishing to hit my big goal right here. And then I have my sub goals right here. Once you have your big goal, I want you to zoom in on your photo. And I want you to zoom in on the car, right? Imagine yourself sitting in the car. I want you to bring this photo to life. Close your eyes and imagine you sitting in the car. Smell what the leather smells like. Run your hands over the steering wheel and hear the sound that the steering wheel makes. Then I want you to imagine, if you have a big dream vacation, I want you to imagine you there on the beach with your significant other. Hear the water, hear the waves, feel the mist. I want you to imagine you starting your business and you becoming the person that's able to keep everything together. You are the glue that keeps everything together. I want you to imagine leading your team to success and people thanking you for how you changed their lives because of your business, because you put in the work and people are thanking you for changing their lives. I want you to zoom in on your photo and I want you to do this for 10 minutes every single morning. Now, you have 10 minutes in the morning to do this, and I'll also want you to do this at night as well. Let it be the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, and let it be the last thing you do before you go to bed. Do not let Instagram or TikTok be the last thing you do before you go into your bed. Your subconscious mind actually starts to work on things while you're sleeping and throughout the day. And you'll start attracting more information, opportunities, and people closer to you so that you can get to your goal faster. And now you're training your subconscious mind to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. And the second bonus tip that I have for you is that you have to have fun on the journey. You have to be able to enjoy the journey and also to be lighthearted while you're on the journey and have fun on the way to reaching your goals. You can't put so much pressure on yourself when it comes to achieving your goals because the pressure will build up and you will crack. So you have to live in a world of duality when it comes to reaching your goals. When it's time to work, you work with all of your human will. When it's time to play, you relax and you take your mind off of work. Throughout my journey, I learned about a concept called a force multiplier. A force multiplier is the ability to get more done without more time, effort, or energy. I found that when I take breaks off of work and I enjoy life a little bit, then I come back to work, I hit the work so much harder than ever before. I've also found that when I meditate for 20 minutes every single day, that's me taking a break from work in order to hit the work that much harder. And my output becomes 2 times greater because my focus is clear. This is why on the weekends, I still do stuff with my girlfriend or even by myself just to enjoy life. And then I get right back to the work. And once again, why are we so excited about the work? Because it's the thing. It is the thing. It's the one thing that we must do in order to get to where we ultimately want to be at. And it is the obstacle that you must overcome. Ryan Holiday is one of my favorite authors, and he wrote this book called The Obstacle is the Way. And it's doing the thing that you're avoiding right now in order to get the very thing that you ultimately want to do. I found this in my personal life to be extremely true. I recently just took up CrossFit, and I knew that I never wanted to do CrossFit because number one, I started making excuses for my asthma. I started making excuses for the workouts being super hard and I didn't want to do it. I started comparing my future with my past. Oh, I'm a bodybuilder. Bodybuilders don't do CrossFit. And no, I had to start living from my future. And what that meant for me is that I wanted to be a really fit person that was able to run miles. I wanted to be able to be a really fit person that was able to clean like 225 and do some really cool stuff, right? And I had to take a moment and start thinking from my future and not from my past. Because guess what? When I started to think and started to make excuses for myself and started to fight for my limiting beliefs, I got to keep my limiting beliefs. I didn't go to CrossFit. I stay stagnant with my progress, right? So once again, you have to create your vision from your future of who you want to become and get back to the work, right? So I want to leave you all with this. I follow the Ikigai model for my life's work, and the Ikigai is a really awesome book that I suggest you all read. It's all about finding your life's work purpose. And the Ikigai is the following. It's doing something that you love doing. It's doing something that you're good at. It's doing something that the world needs. It's doing something you can get paid for. When you find out what all 4 of these are for you, your life will begin to become more fruitful. So for those of you who made it to the end of this video, I don't wish for you to have it easier. I wish for you to become better. I don't wish for you to have less problems. I wish for you to develop more skills. I don't wish for you to have less challenges. I wish for you to have more wisdom. For those of you who are on the journey right now, I wish you nothing but success, happiness, prosperity, focus, and consistency on your path to your goal and to your vision and to your journey. Know that you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to, anything that you put your mind to. You are blessed, you are focused, you are determined, you are powerful, and you can do this. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate the support. Have a wonderful year and crush it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you got any value from today, please be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. It really does help with the algorithm. And if you're a fitness coach and you're looking to take your fitness business online and scale your business to 6 figures or more within 6 months or less, down beneath this video is a link to book a free 45-minute strategy call with myself and our team to see if we would be a good fit to work with each other. Don't wait on doing this. If you know that this year is going to be your year and you want step-by-step guidance on how to do it successfully, how to transition online successfully, then this offer is for you. Click the link below, schedule your call, and let's scale together. That's it for this video. See you next week.